What's up, you guys? This is For the Femmes, and we have a really special guest today, Miss Erika Jo.
I'm absolutely terrified. But thank you so much for having me. It's kind of like the lesbian call her daddy. It's like call her stud. Call her mommy.
Call
so
her
happy to
mommy.
be here.
I still would call her daddy.
Yeah. I'm very happy to be here.
Oh, we're so happy.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Yeah, I did meet you a couple of weeks ago at Jeans. And
we ran into each other at the
I know,
1
and
year
you came up
anniversary
to me
party.
and your energy, I was like, we have to get her on the podcast.
No, I was on one that night.
No.
I was
we
very
all
excited.
were.
Yeah.
We all were. But no, that's my first time I ever met you in person. It's always so funny, kind of just seeing someone's like social like presence in their Instagram, and then you meet them in person, and I'm like, one, you're still just as gorgeous as your pictures, but you're also so fun.
You're the
and
first
you're
person to ever say
hilarious.
that.
What?
I mean, you can't kiss two in real life. You know what I mean? You just can't. But I've also known you since like 2017.
I know.
Yeah.
You look the same in a good way.
You love a swipe on an app. Raya Hinge. We've matched on every app known
She's
to
a
man,
swipe
except
whore.
Christian Mingle.
Fuck.
That's
I gotta get on. Honestly, I might find the one on there.
No, farmers.
Or farmer
You're
wants a
welcome
wife.
to.
Farmers wants a wife.
Farmer wants
Most
a
of my
wife.
ship on my clitta. It says like this new Jewish app, lesbian dating.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
amazing.
Are you Jewish?
No,
Oh, I didn't-
my ex was a Jew.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, she was. She wasn't Hasidic though. She was
Oh.
like a very modern Jew. Yeah,
And she lived in Brooklyn. Ironic.
yeah, but not like the Hasidic neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was on the water like you and your ex.
That building's cursed, everyone. Don't ever.
Is
go.
it?
The water is cursed.
It is. No, I swear
I
to God,
know.
it's cursed.
It has
it
the
really?
same colors as the lesbian pride flag. It's just like bad news.
I know. And the worst part is like I was
Honestly, yeah, I had bad relationships there as
Oh,
well.
you on the water? Well, you were on a boat.
Right.
No, I used to live in Williamsburg
Oh.
before.
it's Domino
On the water?
Park.
Just take a
Like-
Dramamine. Like,
Right.
you get less nauseous.
No.
No, but I'm like, I had bad relationships.
I'm so sorry. That's why you're on the apps. That's why we matched so many
I know.
times.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be laughing this whole
I know, honestly.
Sorry, this is the intro. Take it away.
I know.
Take it away, Howard
No,
Stern.
I'm like literally, I just feel like I'm just listening to you talk. Like I'm like,
Yeah, I'm like,
I
hi,
have literally nothing to say.
share with the
you
class.
do. Okay,
They sent me a prompt, by the way.
I want to hear your background. Let me hear your story. Where are you from originally?
Oh, we're like really kicking it off.
We're kicking it off.
Where's your background?
I'm a Jersey girl.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
What part?
More like north. Do you know like where Mendham, Long Valley is?
Kind of by Muncie.
But more north than that. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like Canada.
Basically.
Yeah.
She likes to get it
You're
out.
Long
it's like a
Island.
farm.
That I know.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
about you?
I'm from Nebraska, actually. Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah, we have a few people. I know a few people in Nebraska that we talked
My
about.
gosh,
Yeah.
you know who?
We texted about it.
You
I
know
don't.
What? Oh my gosh, this is so sad. But I just saw her. She was
Yeah.
working at a store. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Get out of here.
There's very few
No, so I'm from Lincoln,
people.
Nebraska. My
Okay.
high school was literally right next to a cornfield.
And what? So
Yeah.
you're a farm girl too.
I mean, it was like very like suburban. You know, it felt like High School Musical. You had like the jocks, you had the cheerleaders, you had me.
What were you?
I don't like in everything.
Oh.
You know, I never made the cheer team, but I had like the best high kick in the Midwest. It was.
I feel like you
it was
probably
iconic.
still do.
I tried out a couple years. But yeah, Lincoln, Nebraska.
Okay.
And then I moved to New York for college when I was 18.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to FIT.
Okay.
What did you say?
Yeah, I mean, Polka Dots 101 was a bitch my freshman year, but once I got through that and like stats, it was smooth sailing. And
Those
graduated in
polka dots.
2019,
Oh,
so I'm old as dirt. And yeah, now I work in tech randomly. I have like a secret corporate job.
What?
Secret.
We all need something to keep the lights on.
I know it's true. You did not. Tech was not what
I know.
what you were giving me.
I know.
I feel like everyone has a secret corporate job though.
You need some.
It's like,
Well, it's
it-
either
no
that
one
or like
knows.
somebody's paying the bills.
100%.
Yeah, it's either dad or
Sometimes
daddy.
I'd rather.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck.
But yeah. So like weaseled my way through. I like graduated college. I modeled for a few years,
Okay.
and I worked at this influencer marketing company. Got laid off for like a year and a half, which was awful.
And you were in New York at this time. This is all in New York.
Yeah, it's like the last like 10 years. I'm like really like condensed.
You're a
everything
New
for you.
Yorker, I feel like at that point.
You
like I think
so.
I think when you hit your like tenure, you're a New
Tenure?
Yorker.
I even say
Yeah, like a
six.
professor.
No, that's
7.
giving a little much. I'm gonna
I
go
I think
10.
I'm 8. Am I there yet?
Oh, you're 8 years.
Yeah,
oh my
but,
god,
like-
I'm more senior than you.
No, I don't think you're age wise.
Oh,
No, but New Yorker
Wait, when-
was.
I'm 42.
Shut the fuck up.
I was a later student.
He barely took me in.
No, but I had like a couple like exits from New York. I like lived in like London for like a little bit.
Oh,
like
okay.
a friend, and then
I think I see all of this.
yeah, and then I like tried LA.
I've
for
seen
a
it
year.
all.
Yeah.
Oh, you keep bringing up LA.
Are you like a
Everybody don't-
gypsy? I kind of feel like you're just like a gypsy and traveler.
No, just a Fleetwood Mac song
Okay.
on repeat.
Mhm.
But yeah, LA just like wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, not for me
it's
either.
Great to you live there.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
had some mutual friends as well.
Oh my god, it was during my Ugly Bob era too, which was like awful. I was playing like Miss Nebraska, this like pageant contestant. I looked like Jane Lynch. It was awful.
Oh my God, stop.
Yeah. So we have this mutual friend in LA
Okay.
who's like a fun like pop singer.
Mhm.
And I was in her music video with the most god-awful bob. I looked like Coach Beast from Glee.
Why
And
they put you in a bob?
I put myself in a bob. How dare you? I was just trying to give I look better
Cool
with long
girl.
hair. I think we all do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we would all look awful with a pixie cut.
Oh.
I was just like in this like more like
stop it.
experimental era, and I wanted to give like Hunter Schafer.
Okay.
And so I just chopped all my hair off. I mean, I really just took out my like tape ins, but
Same.
I looked like Coach
Chopped all
Beast.
my
It was
hair
giving Jane Lynch. It was giving Kurt. It just wasn't like what Hunter gives.
Yeah.
I think she sounds like a narrower frame. But yeah, it's hard to be stocky with a bob.
Yeah.
Look it up.
I agree. That's why I would never do
Stocking
it.
bob.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
too
so-
curvy for a bob.
Who's curvy for a bob?
Me.
Oh, no. But you know what? Curvy and a
I
bob
have like
gives little Debbie.
triple T
It gives snack cake.
boobs and like an
Mm.
ass. I can't
There's
have a
so
bob.
much silicone sitting behind
There
cameras.
really is, you guys.
2, 4, 6,
I think
and the
we
producer
sent
8.
our boobs to
Yeah.
each other
Pardon?
years ago. We sent our fake
We
boobs to
did
each
not.
other.
Oh my God, I just got mine redone.
Yeah, I
There's
want to get
a lot
mine
of like
redone.
eras.
Yeah, I mean, I think New
When did
York
you get
does
them
that to
redone?
you.
Oh my God. So my first boob job, I walked into this plastic surgeon's office on Madison Avenue and I showed a photo of, oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking about this. I showed a photo of Adriana Lima in like the craziest push-up bra. They're like touching her chin. And I said, I want this. And that's exactly what I got. But like without the bra.
Yeah.
So I woke up from like anesthesia and they are like literally touching my chin like this.
I was so scared. I texted
They were like
Faithlin.
airbags.
I said, Faithlin, when I got mine done, I was like,
Yeah.
you're like, I promise you, like, they're gonna look crazy right
Yeah.
now.
I got my boobs
said,
at
I was like,
18.
was I botched? Because I
You
still
were
look at the
young.
pictures now, and I'm like,
Were
the
you got
first
2
week-
sets?
No. I just got mine done in February.
Oh, you did?
I'm
oh
almost
my God, a
a year
Valentine's Day
mark.
gift.
Yeah.
People
it was
get
like a,
kisses,
like,
you get
break-
knockers.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a breakup gift to myself. I said, I think
Good
I
for
want
you.
No.
Oh,
For my 18th birthday, I got boobs.
I was 20, I think I was 20 or 21.
Mm-hmm.
But they were all, I mean, I could have crushed a pop can with them. I mean,
Oh,
they were rock hard. I got them redone. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, same doctor.
Yeah.
I just
That's
like, I was so upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go smaller or did you just change the
I went like
profile?
half the size.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you get your first ones done?
Oh my God, I was like 20 or 21, I think.
I
Really
feel
young.
like back then, like people wanted the big. They wanted their boobs. They wanted them to look fake. Like that used
Well,
to be,
like Victoria
That
Beckham.
was very
Yeah.
much
Like Victoria
the
Beckham.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a vibe though.
Yeah.
But you have to dress them right. You can't like have these like torpedoes
Mhm.
and wear like a muumuu sweater.
Yeah.
No.
It will like catapult off you like a tent.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I
better to
agree.
have like a slope.
Yeah.
I
what I
think
have
so. And that's why I feel like I'm like, no matter what,
Yeah.
like I always look bigger because my
It's
boobs are so
hard. Well, I went from 90 degrees to maybe like a soft 30. Like you want the slope to
Beautiful.
like be
A
like a
natural.
skate ramp, not like
yeah, not
like
yeah,
a protractor.
yeah.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about kind of like coming out and transitioning because I feel like even this story of the surgeries like kind of leads into
Coming out,
All
what
of
are you talking
that.
about? I'm kidding. I've had a lot of.
when
coming
did
outs
you know
in my
you liked
day.
girls?
So I think growing up in Nebraska, I was so sheltered and I really
Mm-hmm.
didn't have like the vocabulary to articulate like how I felt and who I was. And I think I had such like an arbitrary, narrow-minded view about everything, like people, sexuality, gender, race, just like everything. I was so sheltered. And I don't think I had like a person of color in my class till I was like maybe like in 6th or 7th grade. I mean, and that to me was like so not jarring, but just I was like so taken aback. I was like, oh my God, wow, like the world is a lot bigger than you think it is.
Yeah.
But that was just like Nebraska. So I think when I was like 15, I had like these like crazy, like inundated feelings about being like, not being like female, but feeling like super feminine and like clearly not identifying with like this gender role that I was constantly like thrusted into, like in PE or like in, my gosh, like choir, whatever. I was like, this isn't like me.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that these were like feelings about me not identifying with the gender that I was assigned at birth. I took this as like, well, I must be gay because just from like mainstream media and like, people born or like assigned male at birth, like clearly exhibiting like feminine characteristics, I took that as like, I must be gay. So I came out to my parents as gay when I was like 15, which clearly like wasn't it. And I like sort of like lived with that label for like a year or two. And I was like, this like isn't it. Because the more that I like threw myself into like gay culture, and I don't even think there was like anybody else gay in my high school. Maybe there was like one kid and I was like, okay, that is not me. But I try to like surround myself with these like with, gay people and gay culture. And I was like, this isn't like it. Like this isn't like my my being. And it wasn't
That's
until
hard. To figure out at a young age, especially when you're
definitely.
so sheltered.
But especially when you don't have the vocabulary to articulate like
100%.
what you're feeling. And we didn't learn that in school.
No.
And I think hopefully like now kids do. But
I felt that way growing up in Long Island. It's very conservative. Like no one came out when I did. I just was like, this is how I feel. So I don't know what to do with it.
Exactly. They're like misplaced feelings, and it's easier to like put them in a box maybe that's like more accepted. I didn't even know like what transgender was. I didn't even know that it was possible to not align with, I didn't even know that like gender and sex could like differentiate. And I didn't even know like the difference between like gender and sex and sexuality. And these were like such like,
terms no one talked about.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. Yeah. And so I think when I was like 17 or 18, I think I was just like watching people on like YouTube and whatever. And I actually think I was like at one of my like best friend in high school's house, and I saw Laverne Cox on the cover of Time magazine, and it was like this like crazy like issue that I think is like cemented itself in pop culture as like such like a aha moment in terms of like trans history. But I saw that and I was like, wait, like what? It just like really grabbed like my like soul by the reins. And I just thought about it like more and more, and I was like, oh my God, like this is me, like this is how I've always felt since I was like a little kid. I finally like had this, not necessarily like label, but I finally like saw people that talked about their lived experience and their lives, and it really connected with like how I've always felt. So I came out to my parents yet again as trans when I was like 17, 18. And they were so supportive. Like my mom's a therapist and my dad is like this very like corporate guy in aviation, but they were both like super on board. Like, what can we provide you in terms of like, like medical needs? Like they immediately like got me like a gender therapist in Nebraska, which is like very hard to find.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
It had to be so hard.
I was immediately like put on like T blockers, which like sort of like stopped like my like male puberty. So I could sort of like come into myself as like, what I like how I wanted to without like these like crazy repercussions of like a male puberty. But
after you came out to your parents, were you open about it to your community and everything?
Yeah.
And
so I graduated high school as Erika and got like a standing ovation from my like school, which was like so crazy too because I was like bullied as well. But
you're like a pioneer.
I don't know about that, but I always had like a great attitude. And like I was always ahead of the joke. Nobody could really make fun of me because I was always the one joking about myself. I've always been like very self-deprecating, but like in the best way.
I'm like that
like,
too.
Yeah, like very, very like Amy Schumer, like yeah.
I'm just so surprised, like especially in Nebraska, you coming out like that was not like an everyday thing. The fact that did you have anyone that kind of
I didn't know anybody else trans in Nebraska or like at all. I just like had people on like social media and back then we didn't even have like TikTok, so we just had like. I think I'd maybe been on Instagram for like 6 months. So it was really like YouTube.
Were you trying to reach out and find this community of other trans
kind
people?
Of, yeah. So randomly my mom was like, oh my God, I have this like friend of mine who has a transgender daughter. And I was like, wait, what? And this friend's daughter was maybe like, I don't know, like 7, 8, 9 years older than me. So my mom like kind of connected us, and this girl named Blair like put me in a bunch of like trans Facebook groups. So I was able to kind of like connect with like other girls in my community. And now things are like so different. Like now we have shows like Euphoria, which like really is like a trans narrative in mainstream media. And I mean, we have like so many people. We have like Alex Kasani who's like modeling, and like there's so many like experiences and narratives to like go off of, like Erin Phillip, who's a model. And it took like a lot of time. I feel like I didn't transition in the dark ages. I think people like in the 80s and 90s and like even before that like definitely did. But I didn't really have like anything to go off of. There was no roadmap for like surgeries or hormones or like, there wasn't anything like socially that you could like bounce your own experience off. I was like very isolated, especially when I moved to New York at 18 for college. And, my roommates were obviously like not trans, and I was always like the first trans person that everybody had met for years and years and years. So,
how does that feel?
I don't mind that. There's like this amazing quote by Audre Lorde that's like, you have to, I'm like paraphrasing this, but she's like, you have to define yourself for yourself or be swelled up into other people's narratives about who they think you are. And so I think when people don't, I mean, everybody had like a preconceived notion about who trans people were. I'm sure they thought about John Travolta and Hairspray, or like, look who's here wearing heels today, like Caitlyn Jenner. Or like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a lot of like really negative like preconceptions, but I think I was able to like normalize it and like humanize it for a lot of like friends in college and a lot of roommates. And I didn't mind that.
I think you bring a perspective that not a lot of people really understand. Like, I honestly think if you were to go to Arkansas, like, they'd be like, oh, I think I can understand
That's how I like
this
to
now.
think. Yeah, I never have like a chip on my shoulder. I'm always like,
no. Genuinely, I think they'd be like, oh, wait, no, this, because I think they come from a place of thinking that it's not real or there's something wrong with it. But I think like actually if people met you from places like that, they'd be like, oh, they're just like us. Like,
but I think on the like other side of the same coin, I think that you can also like live life with like rose tinted glasses, but you can also be met with like a lot of like adversity and a lot of like oppression. And I've been like very lucky in my life. I haven't like encountered a lot of that. Of course, I've had like bad experiences with like roommates before or like friends or like maybe like dating people. But I don't know. I've always been able to sort of like navigate life, like, thank God, like very
Miss Catholic girly.
I know.
Are we?
Well, I talk about California, so I just like say your prayers and please donate.
I'm like,
no, but I actually just saw like the Virgin Mary statue in Chile, and oh my God, I cried. I'm not
my
even Catholic.
psychic
I don't know
told me that Mother Mary is like protecting me.
I don't know. I have a rosary. Her beads look a little different, but
what do you identify as?
Like
in
sexuality.
Terms of, sexuality. So I think being trans is like, I don't know, or I think sexuality is a very interesting topic when it comes to being trans. I think a lot of people conflate gender and sexuality. And I think a lot of people assume that just because you're transgender that you like a certain gender.
Yeah.
And I think if you look at like gender roles throughout history, I think the most like feminine thing you can do as a woman is to like date a man, like procreate. And so I think a lot of these like ideologies like follow you like tenfold when you are trans because you are sort of like overcompensating for not being born female, not being born like, you know, biologically female, I should say.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I hope our listeners do as well. Take everything with like a grain.
I don't know. I'll date anybody. My most recent relationship was like with a woman for almost like a year and a half, like 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And have you dated men as well?
I've never had a boyfriend, no.
Me neither.
Just girlfriends. Yeah. I did see you post on your Instagram story today.
I did. And I'm getting so much shit actually because I recently came out as fluid because I was like, I just don't want a fucking label.
I don't want to label myself. Like I just came back from the most like breathtaking wedding in South America and I'm like, oh my God, like this bride and groom are so beautiful. I sobbed and I was never say never.
Never say
like,
never. That's why I don't like labels.
Yeah.
But also, like I am attracted to people who are trans, people who are androgynous.
You like masked people though.
Not always.
Not always.
I like a sprinkle.
Do you?
A sprinkle.
No, I don't know.
Well, this is just for the femmes. So is this just for the lies as well? Like, what's going on?
No.
She does love femmes.
I do love a femme. I do love a femme.
Yeah.
But they do have to have this mass energy. But there are some kind of like not as femme girls that I've been like, oh, maybe.
But is it kind of like androgynous?
They're basically more.
Is it kind of androgynous or is it like we're like we're drooling after Jane
I like femmes.
She's very much for the femmes.
I'm for the femme.
I am for the femmes.
Okay.
Sometimes, but I think I do like a STEM. Like I don't know. I feel like
you like the math and like the engineering.
Shut the fuck, like a little stud.
No, I just love a girly that can like kind of do both. Like you're like, oh, she's really pretty.
I like that androgynous vibe too.
Yeah.
Like, I think I like a pretty tomboy.
Yeah,
but
love.
No, I've never been in love with a man. I don't think I've ever been able to like emotionally connect with a man.
Yeah,
same. I think I've had like so many like one-off like sexual like experiences like with men, and it's always very just like. And then like done. Like, you know, it's like not like I don't know, something about like being with a woman like really like pulls at like your heartstrings and it's like softer and it's more emotional and but I think that's like a very like secular experience. I don't think I can speak for a lot of other trans women in feeling that way. You know, I think the majority of trans women I know,
but that's like very les.
Yeah.
Oh, well, like 99% of trans women that I know that I'm friends with like are so heterosexual. But I also think the same thing applies to cisgender women too. Like lesbians are a minority because they're a minority. It's not the norm, you know?
Yeah.
It's normal, but it's not like the most encompassing, you know, default sexuality of a woman.
Yeah.
So I think the same thing applies to like trans women. But I also think you're kind of frowned upon too, preferring women or dating women when you're trans. I think it almost like takes away at your like femininity or like the validity of your womanhood in the community.
Have you felt that? Have like other people made you feel that way?
I mean, I really don't care.
Yeah,
you know, I think I have such a great attitude. I think I'm so
really
like matter of fact about it. I'm like, this is my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like, you know, here she is. And like people are a little like surprised, but like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, it's my grandma.
I fucking
Hi,
love
Nana.
her.
Sorry, I'm doing a podcast right now called Just for the Femmes. Please stream.
Not even
literally.
getting her.
I live for your stories with
we
her.
love Nana.
No, like,
Nana.
can we like FaceTime her? I fucking love her.
Oh my God. I don't think she knows I'm doing a podcast, but she's
know, but
honestly
I love
amazing.
her.
She was, I mean, my parents are so incredible. My sister's so amazing, but my Nana was really like such a pioneer in my transition. She was like the first person.
And that
to just be,
generation is like hard to get a
it's
hold.
crazy because a
hard
lot
to
of
get them
like
on board.
her kids, my mom's obviously incredible, but like a lot of her kids are very like not on board. I mean, like refuse to like gender me properly or like use the right name. And I don't care though, because there's like a million people that do.
Yeah,
but I
'cause you're
actually
confident in yourself.
Yeah, of course.
And, like I understand that, but
it's like water
still.
off the back. But
Do you correct someone now if they like?
no, I just like don't care. Wow. It'd be like me, it'd be like somebody telling me that I have brown hair. I'm just like, I don't, but like, okay.
Yeah,
like
You're
when
colorblind. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
when
fine.
people say to me like, "Oh, I don't think you're actually gay," I'm like, "Okay, whatever." Like
Exactly. And I think when you like, I'm not speaking for everybody, but I think sometimes when you like fight back about like accusations or people like labeling you something wrong, maybe it can come from like insecurity almost.
I feel that way personally, but again,
Yeah.
I agree it could be different for some other people.
Yeah. But you have every right to like assert yourself and identify yourself. And of course, but you know what I mean? When you've been doing it for like so long, it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you're like obviously at a point where like you're very clearly a woman. Like it's not like
I
it's
hope
not like
so.
you just started your
I just shaved my back in the bathroom.
For some people that don't know, what kind of are the medications you had to use? Things to like.
Yeah.
Can you go into the process?
So
of
it's
transition?
different. It's different for everybody. Like I have
Yeah.
trans friends that just trans men and trans women who just don't like the way that they feel on hormones.
Okay.
And maybe they've like gone through like gender affirming like procedures and surgeries that like do help them become like their like
how they feel.
you know, yeah. But yeah, some people just don't like the way the hormones make them feel. But I think like a very like binary traditional route is I think trans women like initially like will start on like a T blocker called spironolactone, which like stops the production of testosterone in your body, or at least like lessens it. And then I think if you go through like bottom surgery and you like remove those organs that produce testosterone, you no longer take that and you'll just continue taking estrogen.
Okay.
But yeah, but there's also I have a really, really good friend named Maxine in London who had such incredible, phenomenal parents. And I think they flew her from London where she like lives to I think like the Children's Hospital in Boston. And she was able to be put on like a puberty blocker when she was like 12. So she like never went through like a male puberty, like never had like the deepening of like the voice or like never had like those secondary sex characteristics that come from like puberty. And she's so phenomenal. Like she's such like a major trans activist and like she's everything. But I don't think that's a norm for a lot of kids. Maybe like now as like times are progressing and I think kids are maybe able to like put a stop to this, you know, like biological puberty that can be like so jarring. I think for like both like trans men and trans women, if you think about like, you know, biological like women, you know, like you think about all these things that like come from puberty, like breasts and like hips and like fat redistribution. And like that's like incredibly hard to like navigate when you transition as a male. And same thing as like a trans woman. Like I think there's a lot of things that come from like a biological puberty as a boy that are like very hard to like eradicate, like facial features and like hair, you know, deepening of voice, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But
And then when you were kind of going through this transition, did you finally feel like, you know, obviously it takes a couple months like to like start seeing and noticing things?
It takes a long time. I think it might take like maybe like a year or two to finally see like effects of like hormones, like see like your skin softening. And I think I had it like very easy. Like I never like had like a crazy puberty. I never like had facial hair. I never had like, you know, I was never like
You started
D5
young.
faux bum. I mean, I was like 17. Like I could have been pretty burly in Nebraska by then. And like boys in my grade like had like beards and like, you know,
I got my
kids.
period when I was 8 or 9. So
I'm still waiting for mine. But but I mean, I had it pretty like easy. Like I never had to like touch my face or never had to use like surgery to like correct anything that I didn't like. So I'm very blessed in that regard. But I was always like very happy with hormones. And my parents, like the first surgery I ever had was like my bottom surgery when I was like 19. And I was like very, very blessed because at the time like insurance didn't pay for that. So I had like very supportive parents that like made that possible. And Yeah.
amazing.
What was that like? Because
Awful.
I hear
Awful.
a lot of different
Yeah,
things
I had a
that
lot of
people don't do,
complications.
some
I went to
people
this
do.
doctor in Pennsylvania, and I mean, you're just completely like bedridden, just covered in bandages. And for the first like couple weeks, you're like walking with a walker after surgery, and it's so traumatizing.
Yeah.
But I think you just always like see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know that it's something that is like that you really, really want, at least for me. There's a lot of trans women too that have been transitioned for like 20, 30 years who just have no interest in doing that.
Yeah.
So everything's like personal preference, like hormones and surgeries. And I think the most important thing is just kind of like honoring how somebody identifies.
I've heard that women who do get bottom surgery, that they have to dilate. What was your experience?
Oh my gosh. I
If
mean,
you're
imagine
comfortable
you have this
sharing.
like terrifying like wound. I mean, honestly, it's like, it's
scares
so
me.
scary. It's so gory. And so what dilating is so when you're like post-op, you have to like insert this dilator inside of your like cavity.
So that it doesn't close, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So you like keep like your like length and your like width like open.
Yeah.
Because I think your body's like just trying to like heal from this traumatic surgery. So it's trying to like just heal everything.
Close. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think when I first got my surgery, I was dilating like 5 or 6 times a day. Like imagine I'm like a student like
No,
in
I
school and I'm like
can't.
rushing back to my apartment to like dilate between classes.
Oh my
But
God,
now
you
it's
were
like
still going. I didn't even realize like
yeah. So I
Wow.
took like I took like some like medical leave. I think I told my school I had like a back surgery. I wasn't gonna like tell them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like timed it over like Christmas break when I was like 19. And
Do you have to dilate forever?
like yes and no. I think if you're having like penetrative
Sex, yeah,
I don't think
no.
you like have to, but like
But like,
nobody's knocking on my door and I don't even want that to happen. So no.
you don't want anyone to dilate you?
No, I think I would rather like throw myself off the Statue of Liberty than like bottom. But yeah, not for me. But if that was happening, I don't think I'd have to dilate.
Yeah,
But I'll throw that thing in there like once a month. Yeah.
just throw it in the bag.
I mean,
You know,
it's
it's
not a
like,
hot dog in a hallway. There's like a couple like yips, but
oh my
yeah,
God.
like once a month, once every like couple months, I'll make sure that everything's
Gotta
fine.
do
It's
what
like
you
putting in
gotta
an earring, you know, just like throw it and make sure the hole's open. And I mean, she's very open, not for business.
In case
just, like,
anyone
at,
wanted
like,
to know, it's
biologically.
not for business, but she's open.
Yeah. Everything's fine. Thank you so much, Dr. McGinn. You did a fabulous job. It looks like a George O'Keeffe. It's beautiful.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
gorge.
Like it could be sold at Sotheby's.
Wow.
Probably better than half.
I
of,
should
like,
probably go to that doctor. And
I mean, you
maybe
can kind of
just,
like dictate it too. You know, you can kind of like,
oh, really?
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
If I could,
I didn't ask
design
for like the
that.
most like rustic, like earthy. You know, I asked for something like very like, you know.
Oh, she's cute. She's
Exactly.
What
Yes.
was your first experience having lesbian sex?
Oh my gosh. I had this really, so again, like going back to like having all these like preconceived notions about gender and sexuality, even though I was able to like come out as like trans and I was beginning my transition like here in New York as a college student, I still think I had a very arbitrary view of sexuality. And of course, like being trans, I thought the most feminine thing I could do was date men, have a boyfriend, eventually have a husband.
Yeah.
And
Naturally.
I'm not like closing that door. I don't think any of us are,
Yeah.
but like, I don't think Timothy Chalamet is like busting down this like door frame and asking us to like marry him. I'm sure we'd all say yes.
No, I would not.
Oh, Harry Styles.
Yes.
Okay. What if Timothy had like long hair?
Honestly, Landon Barker could wear
I
a
think the
whole.
same thing.
Dude can do a whole beat.
Okay,
Get
you
it.
take
You
Landon,
and
she'll
Lan-
take Alabama because she has all the controversy. Like you'll handle it well. Just sit her down on this couch.
Yeah, but no, I don't think I could handle Alabama.
Oh,
I could handle
can
Landon.
you handle Nebraska? Okay. So my first experience, so I had this like really, really beautiful friend in New York, and she was like a model, and I had like asked like a few, like not a few other mutual friends, but I just kind of heard that she was like dating this guy in LA. And when I met her for like the first or second time, I asked her about this like guy that I thought she was seeing, and she's like, "Oh my God, like no, I'm gay as fuck." And I was like so taken aback. Like it was so inconceivable to me that somebody like maybe like that like straight passing or like that beautiful. I didn't know anything about like masc or femmes or
Yeah,
you know,
neither
but-
did we. That's
Yeah.
why we made
Exactly.
this podcast for people
Exactly.
who can understand.
But I was like so taken aback, and I was like, right, really? And I was just like so like, I don't know if I like wanted to be her, if I was like attracted to her, and I ended up like hooking up with this friend once, and it was just like every like thing just like clicked. I was like, oh my God, like this is everything that I've never found like in an encounter like with a man.
Yeah.
And who's not to say that like won't ever happen with
Yeah.
a guy?
No,
but
fair.
I think
Like-
you know like
There's
Yeah.
like most things in life.
But it was amazing.
Yeah.
Were you like freaking out? Like
I don't know if it was amazing like physically, but I think it was like so amazing like emotionally and like, you know, like mentally and like how it fulfilled me and like checked all these boxes that were like I didn't even know existed, you know? Yeah. And then from there I just like went on the apps and then this was like such like a one-off thing. I thought I could try to like kind of bury it. And I was like, I don't know. Like, so I went on the apps and I think like maybe like the third girl I'd ever matched with on an app was Faithlyn. Like literally like in 2017 or 2018. I swear to God.
Honestly,
I think there was like maybe like a couple other like girls after this like friend. And then
we still haven't gone on a date yet.
You're really flaky. And both of you are bad texters. Both of you.
I'm not.
I asked Shay if I could bring a glass of wine on this podcast 6 hours ago. No response. I told Faithlyn 3 hours ago, I'm on my way. No response.
That's not true. I texted you.
Late.
Right. Let's do receipts.
Look at the timestamp.
Okay.
It's at least 60 minutes.
No, it was not.
I'm also a bad texter, but like,
okay,
I throw a lot of like personality in my messages.
I was getting ready and I was on the phone for an hour and a half.
Make sure I do extra emojis now. Exclamation point.
And I text you right now.
But I'm like a very like multimedia texter. I want like I'll do like a voice memo, a GIF, a video.
I'm a voice memo because I think you get a lot. I just don't like texting. I'm just like, let me just get it out of my voice.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. You guys are great. You guys are great texters. You eventually responded to my messages.
We'll be the first ones to say we're. Well,
okay,
I'm not.
You're awful.
Faithlyn, sometimes you're like here and there. Sometimes you're good.
Maybe like in 2025, you guys
text.
could just like put pen to paper and like mail me something.
Yeah, probably. Honestly,
it'll be longer than like K with a heart.
Has dating been like difficult for you?
Oh, but dating is so weird.
Yeah,
I feel like because nobody meets each other like out in person like people did like in the 2010s or the 2000s, which is such an organic and amazing way to meet somebody. Yeah. And like I'm in this like new era where I have like that I'm trans like listed on the dating apps. Before I was like, this is like so stupid. Cause you know, I'm like such a woman. I've lived like almost like equal amounts of my life as like a woman and like before my transition. And it's not like somebody has like all of their like baggage and history listed on a dating app. It's not like a girl has like, well, my parents got divorced in 1999 and like my mom was on food stamps in 2003 with a really hard year and then my dog died last year. It's like you don't have all this stuff listed on an app.
No.
I'm not like correlating like being trans with all these like awful things. Like,
but I don't think you really owe that.
No, but like it does make it a lot easier because then if you don't have that, there's like this whole conversation about like, hey, like just so you know I'm trans. And it's like, when do you mention that? And then when you say that, I think there's all these preconceived notions about like, oh, she's trans, she must have this. So then it's like I'm disclosing that I'm trans. And then on top of that, I'm having to go into like a surgery that I had at 19, which you have to clarify because somebody's going to think something else.
Yeah.
It's just a lot. It's a lot. And like, I'd rather just like, I think that's why like I hook up with like so many friends or like people that I know or like a friend of a friend or like, not like an ex per se, but like, you know.
You never know.
Never say never. You're watching. You're watching.
Oh, she is. Babe.
Oh my gosh. Do you have any like horror stories
from what?
Dating.
Not really, no.
That's good. Lucky you.
I know. I feel like you're having.
No, I mean I do, but like not for this podcast. I have terrible ones. Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything like a little one or no?
Give us a little.
I mean,
it doesn't have to be horror. It could just be like a bad dating.
So like forever ago, I went, this is like when I was just like trying everything out. I'm like, let's just really play Russian roulette. Like who knows what I'm going to be sent from the heavens.
Yeah.
So I had this like friend of mine. Oh my God. I had this friend of mine who was like just pressuring me to like go on a date with this like guy. And I was like, I really don't want to. I was in this era too where I was like, I know that I'm not going to have a boyfriend at any point in my life. But she's like, it's just like good dating experience. When was the last time you went on a date with like a guy and you know, you just got out of this really bad breakup with your girlfriend? And I was like, okay, fine. So I go to dinner with this guy, and it's not like a bad date. It's a good date. We're like quoting every line from The Office. Like he's like really witty. The banter's good, but I'm not like my bones aren't rotted. I'm not like throwing my legs up in the air.
Yeah.
No, I'm still just very like I'm very demure. I'm like okay, like the steak's good. Like how about the T-bone? No pun intended. But it was fine. And then, you know, we have a couple drinks and he said he was like this great art collector and like antiquer. And he was like, do you want to see my apartment around the corner in the West Village? And I was like, sure. Literally no ulterior motives, like at all.
Yeah.
Of course not. No, I had a curfew to myself.
Cinderella.
Yeah, really. Wow. Cinderfella, babe. And so I go back to this guy's apartment and he asked me like if he could change or something. And I was like, of course, like throw on a hoodie, like sure, take off the button up, whatever. Mind you, I have zero ulterior motives. Like I'm just the vibe. Like I'm never gonna say no to like another drink or whatever. Just like my White Claw that's behind the chair here. They're drinking water, and this guy comes out in a micro plaid schoolgirl mini skirt, stockings, pumps, garter belt, a boost. When I tell you, my jaw was on the floor. A cross-dresser. I mean, look who's here. We're in heels today. It was him. It was literally him. I was so shocked. I thought, and that was the last date I've ever had with a guy.
So what the fuck?
You had no idea. Like, not once. Like, never got brought up in conversation.
What do you think? Do you think like when they brought like?
I'd be like, can you go change? Like,
do you think when they brought the bread to the table, he like slipped across like a bow or a panty, like being like, I'm gonna try this on later? Absolutely not. No, I was so deterred.
Wait, so what did you say?
My jaw was on the floor. I mean, once I had like an ace bandage to like bring it back up, I said, respectful. I said, I think I need to go home. The party's just getting started. I was like, oh well, I'm very tired.
I'm not that girl.
I wasn't.
I know.
But also, and I've had so many friends ask me, they're like, why did you not leave the second that you saw like this white like foot and hosiery peek around the door? I said, I'll do anything for the bit. Like I knew there was something coming. I wanted to see what it was.
100%. I would have been like, do the walk, then I will.
It's like if you see like a rat in the subway, do you just like
run away?
Like, do you immediately just like turn the corner?
You look.
You look at it.
You want to see, is it grabbing pizza? Is it like fighting? Like does it have a girl? Like I wanted to know what was going to happen.
Wow.
That was it.
Wow.
That's my only really I don't have any like any horror stories like with girls.
That's a great story,
What's
honestly.
a horror story with a girl?
Are you? I have a lot.
Well, you love the apps.
It's not even the apps. I honestly just love girls. Like even when we're out, I'm like such a.
But they don't know that you're gay.
I only really go to gay places. Like I don't go to many. Like,
so it's so fun.
Maitland makes it known that.
So if any viewers live in like the downtown Manhattan area, she has a private booth at the cubby hole. Her name is engraved in the corner right booth. You'll know which one.
Fuck. It wouldn't be at the hole.
Not the hole.
Not that hole.
That should be called the hole.
And they actually open up a glory hole for Shay at the Woods in Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
Yes.
You can find her there on Tuesday nights. It's when the podcast isn't filming.
The Woods. I still remember.
She hates the Woods. I'm like,
not like it.
I like it, but they're all so young. All the lesbians, they're so young there. They're like,
I did not get.
So I don't like that.
My first. I think everyone thinks I'm straight there. That's why. But
you're kidding.
I know, right?
You guys didn't know.
I think people think I'm straight too, though. It's like hard. It's like you have to like really go beyond. Like,
do you think I'm straight looking?
Of course.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I think when
you're trying with the sneaker and jeans, not to, but normally.
I mean, I saw your like vision board on your close friends, and I think when you get the fade and the lip ring, I think it will sort of like help.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Was that not you?
No.
Oh, was that you? I'm literally lying.
Shut up. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You have a vision board in your like.
Wait, do you actually?
House, but not on my.
That's what
I
was like, wait, I missed
that. And I don't have face piercings on it.
We've never met in our entire lives. This is like our first time ever.
Believe it or not, because we've like known each other online for years, but it's so funny.
You matched with me first, by the way. Let it be known.
Okay.
What did you say?
She matched with me first.
Oh,
I pulled a good one.
Faithlin,
guys, I can pull.
Do you have a favorite sex toy, sex position?
Absolutely not.
So you're no sex toy kind of girl?
Absolutely
No, you just love it all?
I think there is nothing less sexy
than
looking down at some bent knees and some like cocked feet. And you see R2-D2 down there. That is the most unsexy, like Elon Musk, SpaceX shit I've ever seen in my life. I could never surrender myself to like a gadget with battery. Never. It's like a mental thing. I don't care. I hate it.
Wait, what about if you're fucking yourself? Do you even use like a vibrator or anything?
No,
okay,
never.
So you are just
old school, like BC, babe.
That's Nebraska in you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, if I was Nebraska, I'd have a corn cob on my nightstand.
Yeah. That vibrates.
Well, it finally
that vibrates.
popped. I made popcorn. Redenbacher. But
wait,
no.
What the fuck?
I can't.
I never really.
I can literally like
everybody. I don't know what I don't like it. You can't like control like the tempo, the time, anything. I don't like it.
I do think sometimes they can make them a little bit cuter.
It's not about the look. It's like, I don't know.
Maybe that it's.
I don't want to have sex with something like a
love-
USB cord or batteries. It's
I
not
love it.
sexy to me. I'd rather like a hand
I don't think
or like
you
anything
need
else.
it. I don't think you should need it, but I think it's fun. Like I love
I'm
strap-on
supportive if somebody
sex.
likes it. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, strap on.
I love strap-on sex. I can
Yeah.
literally come from like fucking someone with a strap-on
Really?
Yeah.
Good penetration. Mm-hmm.
to give it.
You like to wear it.
Are you
Yeah,
a giver
that's what
or
I'm
a
saying. I
receiver?
can come from
Giver.
Okay.
fuck, like
No.
wearing that.
Okay.
I can't even accept like a Mayday basket. Like I can't accept anything. I cannot. But I'm the
So
worst
are you
bottom
like
alive.
just like touch me not? Like you don't like to be
I mean,
touched?
I will, like sure. If like the mood's right, why not? If
Yeah.
I'm like in love. Yeah. Yeah. I've ever had like a white claw behind my chair, sure. But no,
you're-
I don't. I don't like it. I can like just like get off just from like doing something to somebody else.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel that way too.
Mhm.
I'm more of a giver.
You are.
Yeah.
I never know.
No, I'm definitely more of like a. I mean, I'm a switch, but I'm like more of a top than a switch.
Mm.
Okay.
Her.
Wow. That was not the answer I thought I was going to.
Yeah, no,
I'm
honestly.
shocked.
What about position?
Yeah. Do you have a position then?
favorite
like,
position?
I mean, I'm a pretty big girl. Like not big, but like I'm 5'10". How you're 5'10"?
I'm 5'10".
Yeah.
You're not that big.
That's not big.
Oh my god.
Girls who are 5'10" are the hottest.
My
I mean,
ex
of
was
course.
literally 5'4", and she.
I've seen.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen.
Everyone has.
5'10"
She
is
also
hot.
matched with me back on the day on the apps.
She would.
She would.
She would.
100%.
She would and she did. I don't know. There's nothing sexy about like these long gams like billowing like in the air like one of those like inflatable things at an auto shop. Like not for me. I'd rather just be like hunched over doing something.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
You know what? That's
Maybe
that's
I'm laying
fine.
down, somebody's on my face. Like maybe something like that.
Yeah.
But like no,
Yeah.
I don't need to do like, I don't know. Like the
Yeah.
Macarena. I don't need to be like in a Shavasana. No.
You don't
It's
want like a overly stretched, position.
You don't wanna
You don't
stress
want to have to
out.
put your.
Wherever the wind blows me,
Yeah.
fine. But like
I feel like you're a free spirit. I feel
I'm
like
very,
you were-
very free spirited.
Yeah.
I should have
Yeah.
a feather in my hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at Henrietta's this weekend.
Okay.
We went fairly late one of the nights, and because unfortunately I was there 2 nights in a row.
I've never been there.
I've
Save
only been there
yourself.
once.
So we go and it's
And
like
it was
3 a.m., 4 a.m. It's witching hour. Everyone is plastered. There's like 5 people there, and they're all just like
Liquor,
can't
I
even
hardly know
speak.
her.
They can't even speak, and they're
Liquor, we
just like,
cannot.
yeah, literally, they're like, so who can I bring home? And I'm just
where is
like,
Henrietta's?
what the fuck, Hudson and
Harriet's or Henrietta?
Henrietta's.
Is it near
Oh.
Cubby?
It's like a 5-10 minute walk from Cubby.
I've only been there on Pride and.
Mm.
I actually
I was like-
I like Henrietta's.
Am I missing something?
No,
but
absolutely
it's like
not.
a funner. Like you can dance at Henrietta's, and like you can't.
I
really
mean,
dance at
honestly, I could
Cubby.
probably like thrive there if I had a clothespin for my nose and I could just like dive into the crowd. Just like come one. Come
Where do
all.
you go out?
Yeah, they definitely a lot of people don't shower there.
Anywhere.
Like you
I
don't go to. You're.
I
fine,
love.
like,
I love a dinner. I love a dinner.
Like you don't
Monday
go to
through
gay
Sunday.
bars,
Like you don't need to go.
Sure, why not? Yeah,
but you don't really go.
I have and I will and I do.
No, but do you?
Well, you do everything. You're
Right.
not. Just
I'll
like
do anything.
You're not a
yeah.
girl that. Okay.
I love like a fun like boozy dinner, like at Jeans where we met.
love that.
I
I mean, that's more our
the cubby
vibe.
hole, sure, but then I don't know when somebody with like an underbite and headgear and like pigtails starts singing Wicked. It's time to go home.
I know.
It's not
Real.
sexy. It's
Real.
not, and that's
Real.
fine. But it's not for me.
I go there for B, and B saves me.
But the
Trying to keep
woods
it
can be
at
like
that.
a blast.
Yeah, I've had some
The Woods
really
would be
fun
great.
nights at the
Yeah.
Woods. I've had really fun nights at Henrietta's. I don't.
And
really
we're
have
like
the-
a dime a dozen at the Woods. Like we're really a commodity.
yeah,
Yeah.
hot.
I'm usually getting picked up by like a stud, but
Yeah.
I kind of love that.
I
too.
was there once, and someone thought I was a trans like celebrity, and I said, I don't. I think,
really,
yeah, I don't know who.
They
it
thought you were
was.
Erika Pawlowski.
Probably, actually.
You should be so flattered.
I'm like, I wonder if
That's her.
I know.
I didn't know if you knew.
I
No,
was
you
gonna
thought
say,
I
I
said
wonder if
Emily
you had your
Ratajkowski.
I was
No,
like, I
we're
wonder if
different.
you had
We're
your
different. I'm blonde.
brown hair back then when it
Yeah.
did happen. It probably was.
Mhm.
And then I said no, and they were like, "Oh, sorry, I mistaken you." I said, "Okay."
That's such a compliment, though. Like, I think some girls
I
get
think
so
so
pissed when
too.
they're like,
First of
caught
all-
as trans, but like,
Yeah.
trans girls put not
They're
all trans
really
girls, like, some
pretty.
are like,
I feel like
every
most,
woman.
most of them are like perfect.
Perfect.
Like
Like,
Gigi
put-
Gorgeous is like
Mhm.
stun,
Perfect.
Yeah.
stunning.
So when I have really good friends when I lived in LA and just everything.
Yeah,
But trans girls like put a lot like of effort into their
They-
appearance.
Yeah. And
100%.
so I was.
That's why they always
them
look good.
hmm
They're like better than probably half the girls that were there anyways.
100%. Also, another thing that's like so les that I was thinking about, like when you like have sex as a lesbian, I feel like specifically, like sometimes when it's so good, you like cry together after. Like, have you ever done that?
I've never cried.
I've done that
sex.
so many times afterward.
No.
You like cry.
I can't.
I
That's
cry
a
when I
different
fight.
Emotion that doesn't hit my body when I have sex, and it's not crying.
You've never cried.
I'm after sex. No.
Me neither.
Like I think
Oh, maybe. Like
This
I
is
love
like
you.
a very
I'm so in love with you. I
yeah,
love you
like
so
that
much.
was so amazing.
Maybe like
I love you
twice. This
so
is like
much.
every time for you.
No, not God. I'm just saying.
every time she is.
I'm
when
just
Faithlin,
saying.
let it be known, when Faithlin walks into the cubby, starts crying. She goes, I'm in love with everybody here.
No, but I'm just saying, like
You cried when that
That's-
girl with headgear was singing Wicked. You bawled.
I did.
Yeah, the wizard and I just gets her.
Okay.
Gets me
You were,
going.
you were singing Wicked on your story. That was different.
When
You were singing something from Wicked on your
you
Instagram story.
no, you keep
Yes, you were.
making up these.
I mean,
swear to
I
God.
could see that.
Yes, you
Faithlin-
were.
I could.
You
see
had just
that.
seen the movie, and I messaged you, and I go, "Oh my God, I just saw it. I love it."
I
You were
definitely.
at a pizza shop or something. Yes, you
Did-
were.
Oh wait,
Yes, you did. I told you.
so right.
I told you.
You were so right.
But that's different. That's
this
like
was- yeah. Sorry,
you
this
looked
was
hot.
actually
You were like at a
yellow-
pizza shop.
No, I was drunk as fuck, and my friend was making fun of me, and I was just singing Wicked.
I wasn't. I was celebrating you. I like
Thank you. I mean,
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
you. Thought I was lying. I wasn't.
Well, I just didn't remember, so yeah.
Wait, how many people did you cry after sex with? I mean,
That's what I'm wondering too.
No, like honestly, like I think like the two people I really love.
I know who they
Am
are.
I really? Oh, do you?
I just like figured the LA ones.
No.
Oh.
or
Yeah.
Huh.
your fiance.
My ex fiance and then my first girlfriend
Who was your first girlfriend?
in high school. I was
You had a
like
girlfriend in
15.
high school?
Yeah, I came out when I was 14.
Did you really? Wow, you're
Yeah.
really ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I came out to my family at 13, but then like
Wow.
publicly before I had a
Like
girlfriend.
Santana from Glee.
I fuck around and find out. Yeah,
But never-
I mean, like that's such a les thing. I swear. I know people are.
No, I do think it is. I don't
Like,
know why. I feel
when
like
it's, like-
I need to like experience that. I guess.
Yeah, whoever is hitting it is not hitting it right. Let me tell you.
No. Nobody's hitting anything.
I
You're
just
like
think
me in the
I
eye.
think my kind of sex is just different. Like I don't think I'm like hitting that emotion.
I think you could.
I don't know.
Who are we looking for?
I think I need to keep that. I don't know. I don't really show my emotions anyway. So
I can tell.
maybe-
What's your birthday?
Touchy Monday.
Are you a Taurus? You're a Capricorn?
And, I'm
Wait,
a
what's your
Capricorn and
sign?
Aquarius.
What do you think I am?
I have no idea.
an Aquarius?
Like a Gemini.
It's Capricorn. I'm a cusp,
But you're Aquarius proper.
technically.
Okay.
I feel like you're like a Libra
Leo,
or a Gemini.
Gemini.
I'm a Gemini rising. You're so good. But I'm a Scorpio.
Oh,
Mhm.
definitely.
The best.
I wouldn't have guessed
Ew,
that.
what do you mean?
I wouldn't
You're
have-
not like, why'd you pull back?
I don't really like Scorpios. They're very secretive people.
Well, I'm a cusp.
What's your cusp?
Libra. So you're good.
Yeah,
October 23rd.
If anyone
more
says anything
Libra,
bad about an
honestly.
Aquarius or Capricorn, which like no one ever does, I'm always like, I'm a cusp. Don't worry. It's
I like Aquarius.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my cusp babies love it. I don't really have that many red flags or icks. One is
What are your red flags?
I have none. I'm perfect.
I can name them right now.
What are they?
oh in general like
Actually, name them. I love this game.
Okay.
We listen and we don't judge.
bad texter. Bad at making plans.
mm.
Says they have no red flags.
No, I actually don't. That's not a red flag.
Holds on to drama.
What drama?
Mm.
Hold on to it. We know the same person. Talk about it.
No, I'm kidding. She has zero red flags. Everybody,
Exactly.
please.
I'm
deal with
what?
Faithlin.
What would yours be?
Mine?
Yeah, I'm trying to
Ooh, probably guarded,
okay.
but like not now.
I don't think that's
That's why
a
the white
red
cloud behind my
flag,
chair.
though. I think that's healthy.
My red flags. I think I'm very like, well, emotional is not even a red flag either. I really don't have any.
Yeah.
My mom's a therapist. Like I'm very, I have a very high emotional.
Did you go to like did you guys
Yeah.
do therapy when you were younger? Like before like
I mean, I'm sure
Did
she
you
was like psychoanalyzing, but
Yeah.
yeah. Like when my parents got divorced, I like went to therapy. Not like, oh God, what a buzzkill. Like I went to
See?
therapy for that. Like
We
I was, like,
both don't
positioning.
have red flags.
you guys are
Wow.
pretty
Duh.
much perfect.
I know. Maybe we're meant to be.
Yeah, maybe
Actually,
not.
no. We like different sex.
Yeah, you would have to throw away all the vibrators and sex toys.
Yeah,
It wouldn't work out.
I
you
mean,
guys
like unscrew the kickstand from your bike and like put it on a harness and like go to town. I don't love that. I don't like to be on the receiving end. I'm definitely not going to wear that like
Fair.
the Tin Man. I
Fair.
don't.
No, that's fair.
But I'm very happy for you that that's like worked out and made you cry. So I'm
Shut the fuck up. That's not what made me cry, but yes.
okay. Well,
It's
it's
worked
nice to be
out.
emotional. So red flags.
I'm very
What are
emotional.
yours?
Oh, like mine personal? You know what? I actually don't think I have that many. I would say I could lie here and there. Could be
Oh, you
but
are
I don't
a liar.
cheat.
She's a liar.
I'm a lot. I can.
So
lie.
you're not.
She's a liar.
So you're not 21, like you said when we texted.
No, I wish.
Okay.
Do I look 21? That's all that matters.
You said I'll get a drink with you tonight if I can find my fake ID. So
Yes,
you have a real ID that works.
I don't even have it.
Okay.
I actually don't even think I brought my wallet. No joke.
I work in tech.
I'm the sugar daddy.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, I got my sugar daddy over here. I think I could white lie a little bit, which can get me into trouble. But I never cheat. It's not like a
But
lying.
you're
of
working on
cheating.
that.
I'm working on it for sure. And then I think
It's not like I feel like white lie. It's not like you're a psychopath like Jeffrey
No.
Dahmer. Like there's no heads in my answer.
Yeah, and I'm not like
It's like-
cheating on someone.
It's
I
like
just
you're
It's
like
a
a people pleaser.
non-confrontational
You're a
thing.
people pleaser. You're afraid to disappoint people. Like I
Yeah.
get that too.
yeah.
Mhm.
But other than that, I think I'm pretty perfect.
Like
So.
perfect.
I think
yeah.
so.
Are we just all perfect?
I know you guys.
I mean, yeah.
The thumbs
Are we
Perfect.
all
Yeah.
perfect?
Yeah.
I mean,
You guys are too.
Faithlyn Strap-on hasn't touched Dial soap in years, so she's far from
Fucking
perfect.
True. I actually have to get a new one, so maybe
Do you
we
put it
can
in the
all do that
dishwasher?
together.
How do you scrub?
Wait, I do have a question. Even though you don't use sex toys, do you think you need to change your like dildo from partner to partner?
She doesn't
No.
use
Well, I don't.
toys.
I didn't
Like, in
matter.
theory,
But I think you. I like to know from
no,
now.
like yes and no. I think it's like respectful. I think.
Thank you.
Okay, like for
Really?
example, if I were to have you guys over to my apartment,
You were.
I wouldn't give you like a used tub of hummus. I think it's fine, but to see like the swirls and like the used activity in that tub,
So true.
you don't want to see like past activity on that hummus. I think it's kind of. Why would you?
It's past activity.
It's past activity.
Killed me.
No, like I think it's a nice thing to. Why would you want to keep like a sex toy that somebody else has used? There's memories attached to that.
That's what I think too. I'm like,
I like.
I have friends who like
know.
recycled sex toys, and I think it is so foul.
I
yeah.
never thought.
I think
about
a
that.
dick. I think you can keep some of like the vibrators, but the dick that's like
Well, you can't remove that.
no, like the dildo dick.
Oh.
The
Like,
strap.
not someone's
A
ass.
man can't just get a new. Well,
Well, that's what people like say, but I'm like, no.
stay
it's
tuned for
different.
episode part 2. But
I don't know. I totally understand why people would want a new one. If I was with someone who wanted a new one, I'd be like, okay, but I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't care.
I mean, if you spent like $5,000 on like this SpaceX rocket on a harness, and it has like these hydraulics and like
Yeah.
atom
you
molecules
can
that propel you
actually
in outer
come
space.
in you.
Okay, let's like take a baby wipe and let's use it again. Like we're not expecting you to buy this over and over again.
Cavi wipe.
But I can guarantee you're probably spending $30 on it, and it's
Definitely not 30.
Wait,
but I'll give
thinking
you
of
that.
this right now, you guys. I forgot
Oh, no.
when me and my ex first started dating, she got one that like would squirt like I get-
Actually, like,
that's
come-
so
Yes.
unnecessary.
That's so hot to me.
Wait,
And it's not, that's not
If I
sex.
could actually
that.
come in a girl, I would.
God, that's
I have
how
so
she
many
was.
kids.
I totally forget some of the sex toys I've had. Oh my god.
I actually was talking about this the other day. I had a sex toy that like had like it was a strap on and it had like a suction so that when you were wearing it, you could like actually kind of like feel something.
Yeah.
Oh, it like
that was fun. Yeah, but
I mean,
I don't know.
would
I just
love
like
to go to a sex toy like convention.
I'm very happy for you.
I just would love
I think
to
we should like film.
I
a
see why you
podcast
cry
at a
so much. You
sex
can't read the manual. Like you don't even know how it works. You're frustrated.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my god! Wow, you were one of the first. You like really don't like. I know some people
Yeah.
like would rather not, but like
I don't.
I
Yeah.
know.
I mean,
Well, you must be really good in bed then.
I've had friends who've been like, Erica, just try this out. It feels like I am rubbing a number 2 pencils eraser for 2 hours, and I'm also crying, but it hurts. Like,
Not
I'm
in a good
over
way.
it. I'm drier than the Sahara.
Oh,
It's
no.
not sexy.
You don't use lube?
It's not go. I don't want it to go in. No, even outside, whatever. I don't like it. It's not for me.
That's okay.
each
No.
Doesn't matter. I mean,
No.
I actually
Sticks and
know
stones may break your bones, but vibrators will never change me
they've changed me.
They've changed me.
for the for the good.
For the good.
For good.
Okay, see, theater nerd.
I know. But I mean, I know actually a lot of lesbians who are kind of against sex toys, so
Oh, I'm not
it's not
against.
doesn't shock me.
If you
no, but they don't
love
want to
that,
use
and
them.
that's like matters. Fine, sure.
Like
No, but
you
you don't
met
wanna
if you
use
met
them,
the
I
partner
mean,
that
like-
you were obsessed with, and then she was like, "I love fucking sex toys."
Yeah.
You would,
I don't know if I would love wearing a strap on. I think that'd be like weird and like.
But you'd-
but, like
yeah,
Mhm.
like no.
Yeah.
Even if I had like goggles on, like blindfolded, I don't think I would like that.
yeah.
No.
Putting the strap on really does change like your perspective.
Also,
Oh,
it's not
so-
sexy. It's so faith and
So
like,
unsexy to
so
put
you're
a
in a
strap
booth seat
on.
and you're like holding
No.
your legs like through this garb, and you're like hoisting it up.
like there's very few
Putting it
people
on
that I
is
think-
not sexy. Sorry, like it's not.
No.
It's not. But it feels good.
do you
to
like make
people.
like do you like get into
No.
it? Like are you
No,
like
I'm like-
he's almost like
bend over.
I feel like
You say like look away, like in Bridesmaids when Melissa McCarthy's like on the sink. Look
no.
Wait,
do you say
have
watch?
you done like a strip tease before? Like for like, I just feel like you probably put on performance.
I can and I have, of course.
Well, have you? I've done.
I don't feel like it's necessarily like with a girl, but I think like with guys, like I think it's. I mean, I'm sure when I was 19, I wanted to feel like Nicole Scherzinger and the Pussycat Dolls, like whipping my hair around.
Duh, doesn't everyone?
Who doesn't? Literally,
I still do.
I had like my like
goal.
Britney Spears "Slave for You" era, and I think that's like very much retired. My back hurts. I'm old. Like no.
Yeah, I love a little. I'm like when I like really love someone, I'm like a slut. Like, I will like do whatever they want. Yeah.
Doing it. One
Yeah,
time I just
all the
Santa
things.
vaping, and I think it really went over well.
But I think also when you're like so comfortable with somebody and you're so in love, like you don't need to like do the most. It's just about. It's like
no,
very,
it's
like,
just
love
fun.
yourself.
It's like
And,
fun.
Well, then you know how to keep the spark alive.
I love.
Hence why you cry.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
babe,
thank you for coming on.
Oh my, is this something I said? Why are we ending it so abruptly?
We have to. We're past our time.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody,
We, like,
please
book a
donate so we
slot.
can have a longer episode next time.
You're always welcome back.
Yes, you
Thank you guys so much.
Thank
you really
you guys.
conquered my nerves.
Good.
You were so easy to talk to.
What's this called? Call her stud. Thank you so much for having me. Call her mommy. I appreciate
Call her
it.
mommy.
I had the best time of my entire life.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.